following is a production of the Department of Broadcasting and Journalism at Western Illinois University.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. News 3 starts now.
Good morning, Macomb, and welcome to our first show of the semester. I'm John Benedict.
And I'm Zach Stone. Today we talk DNA, deep diving, and a diamond in the rough.
Also, 12 hours of philanthropy for children right here on the WIU campus. We have the person spearheading the operation coming up.
And coming up in March, a month of celebration for women on the WIU campus and across the country. We'll talk about those events later, but first, at-home DNA testing kits like 23andMe seem to be very popular right now.
Well, local experts say there are things you need to know before sending your DNA to these companies. Reporter Devin Brooks has a story.
And these are real issues. These are real issues.
Dr. Hal Marchand teaches in the Health Sciences and Social Work Department at Western Illinois University, as well as social worker Lori Smith O'Con. Both have not tried 23andMe, but they expressed personal concerns about how the service is conducted.
At first, I thought it sounded like a lot of fun. You know, who wouldn't want to know a little bit more about their background and maybe perhaps even their genetic risk? But when I thought about it a little bit more and I listened to my colleagues, I realized that there were some concerns that were out there.
23andMe tests for 10 different diseases, but O'Con is worried. Even though they say not to take any results as a diagnosis, she still raises concerns with how a person reacts if they receive a disease risk, especially if it's not accurate.
How would that influence your life is if you learn that you were at risk for a genetic problem that had no cure.
Just last year, the FDA allowed for 23andMe to test for health conditions after the company made customers aware of the potential to cause anxiety.
You should look at it as a conversation starter that you would have with your healthcare professional.
Dr. Marchand and Professor O'Con also feel the DNA information could potentially get into the wrong hands if there are not safeguards in place to protect where it goes.
Once you've signed on the dotted line and center, you no longer have control over your DNA.
What happens to the information once it's available?
23andMe includes in their privacy policy that they only share the information with their service providers and third parties, but say they cannot guarantee the security of information because the data is sent electronically. However, once the saliva sample is sent to the lab, their policy says no contact information is required or provided. Lab workers are instructed to dispose it and only use the barcode label attached with the kit.
Encourage people to do it, but I think it's going to be based on if they're really wanting that kind of self-discovery.
Information out there that they can talk to their physicians or some genetic counselors, maybe do some reading, and just learn a lot more about the service.
Brooks reporting. Now, other concerns you should be worried about, experts say, are the sensitivity of family members, understanding and using the product as instructed, and making sure to always speak with professionals about any disease results. For 23andMe, the Ancestry Kit is $99, and the Health with Ancestry Kit is $199.
WIU is home to more than 270 student clubs, all catering to a diverse set of interests. I have an inside look at one of those unique clubs on campus in this News 3 exclusive.
At Western Illinois University, clubs are a major part in campus recreation. From intramural volleyball to the zoology club, students from all backgrounds are free to express their hobbies. One of the most unique clubs on campus is Scuba Club.
Do you have a specific fin that you like?
Sabrina Cicetta is a senior and the president of Scuba Club. She told News 3 why scuba at Western is so valuable.
The best thing about Scuba Club is being able to try it before you buy it. Anyone can try it.
Rookies and professionals dive side by side in full gear and essentially test drive the scuba experience.
And then you have a 16-week program here for diving. It's not just a weekend thing and you get your card and then you can go out in the real world. It's 16 weeks. So he goes into great depth in why we're doing it the way we're doing it, so that way we understand. And then when we go out into the real world, it seems like time and time again that we're some of the best divers out there.
The few scuba classes at WIU can provide unlimited possibilities. This hidden pearl, surrounded by cornfields, has led to the success of many students in its 50-year lifetime. No matter who you are likely to find scuba success in a very unlikely place.
The Scuba Miner also offers classes from beginner's level to advanced rescue diving. The divers organize trips and dive with marine life, even feed sharks.
Yeah, that's incredibly awesome. I know that you had a lot of fun interviewing Scuba Club and just all the things that they've had going on.
Yeah, I've even dove with them once or twice, and it's really freaky at first, but once you get used to it, it's sort of surreal. It's like you're weightless under there. It's kind of
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Prospective students got a taste of college life after participating in a recruitment day known as Discover Western.
With a recent drop in enrollment, Western is now tasked with coming up with different ways to recruit different incoming freshmen. News 3's Jasmine Yates reports.
Western Illinois University has been suffering due to enrollment. The Department of Broadcasting and Journalism uses their wall of bios as a recruitment tool. Western's enrollment is down by 870 since this time last year. Several students, like Devin Keeley, visit Discover Western in hopes to see Western's campus and to see what each individual department has to offer.
Wall of Fame, considering how many people go on to be and do some big things, that's extremely exciting seeing that there's some prestigious members, alums, and they're doing some exciting things like working for big news networks.
The broadcasting department is known for so many things. Catch the eyes of so many potential students. Some things they're known for are national awards and their student-run radio station. Western Illinois University's very own News 3 team puts on a mock newscast to give visiting students a sneak peek of all the things you could do at WIU Broadcasting and Journalism Department.
I think it was really cool being on air. For a few, I was on air for a little bit. They allowed me to go on and use my radio name from my show.
Western hopes to boost enrollment with these efforts. I'm Jasmine Yates, reporting for News 3.
Western Illinois hopes that with all the new activities, it will help improve enrollment.
And while prospective students are discovering Western, millennials are figuring out new ways to pop the question.
That's right. Avocados may be good for your health, but they are also a good way to show your significant other that you want to spend the rest of your life with them. Proposers are taking the seed from avocados and replacing it with an engagement ring in this new trend. Look at that. Move over, guacamole and toast. Avocados have a new job. That is so creative because I bet you the box, they charge, these jewelry stores probably charge a lot to pack it.
Oh, so yeah, I think it's incredibly hilarious. I've actually seen videos on YouTube, and that's how we actually found this story for today. It was just one of those things that blew you out of the water.
Most of the time, the women, they like being surprised. They like having it in their food or their glass of champagne or whatever, but in an avocado, why not, right?
Hey, if that means I have to pop the question like that, someday I'm going to make sure it's with an avocado.
Avocado, why not?
Western Illinois men's basketball in action last night as they get ready to finish up their season. North Dakota State, the second-to-last opponent for the Leatherneck men during their 2017-2018 campaign. Early on, the Leathernecks would get the start real early because Dalen Ankrum would drive through the hole, going between two defenders here, drive, hoop, and no harm. Still early in the first, Kobe Webster getting in on the action now, goes down to Brandon Gilbeck, and the big man throws it down ferociously, the big man from Muscatine. Webster spitting outside now, drive inside, finding Isaac Johnson, who gets the difficult bucket. And when you talk about efforts from Webster, you got to talk about just his overall play. Another dime to Ankrum, who hits the mid-range jumper. In the second half, Western still in control. Going hard to the lane this time is Johnson once again. 38-27, the Leathernecks lead in the second half. And with Western up 9, Dalen Ankrum with some savvy movement back and forth in a blender, hoop, and the harm, Western way in front. Finally, the Bison got things going late in the second half, though. Tyson Ward with the catch and shoot, Western only up 4. Ward would make it interesting once again, driving down low. He's going to get the mid-range jumper, nails it. putting a lot of work in there on Dalen Ankrum. But Western would begin pulling away. Gilbeck with a little finesse there, the finger roll. And it would be Johnson late in the game putting it to bed. A big foul call there, hoop and the harm. Johnson would finish the night with 29 points. Western does take that one, in fact, moving into the conference tournament, and that is something that I need to change that I said yesterday. The men still are in chance for the conference tournament. They will play as the 8th seed as of right now.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and the men never giving it up throughout 40 points. Lots of big hoops there from Johnson and Ankrum to make it into the Summit League tournament, and who knows, they might come out on top.
It's fantastic. Well, the annual dance marathon is back tomorrow, and I speak with the head of the leadership committee. Find out more after the break.
I think just working with everybody in the newsroom, everybody has such a great camaraderie. All the opportunities that I've been given here have just been amazing to expand on that resume. I try not to beat myself up on the mistakes I make because there's so many opportunities. Just giving that experience, and this is how I got to do things in the real world, is really what the broadcasting and journalism department has done for me. When you have a really good show and that everybody nailed it, I mean, that's one of the best feelings in the world.
Oh, emojis! I thought the conversation just got dumber.
Ugh, internet trolls, just ignore them.
I like you just the way you are.
I believe in you! She's a hugger. Give her a squeeze.
Help up the hand!
Ah, there you go.
Thanks, mate.
You're killing it, Jane!
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
I want to be able to stand in front of the camera and tell people the story of what the weather's going to be like that day, or be able to tell people, hey, there's something coming your way, you need to take cover, you need to watch out. And being able to stand in front of a camera and tell not only people who are directly involved but their family members as well, like, this is what's going on. It's been very important to me because, you know, being in those situations where you are relying on the news to tell you what's going on, I like to be a part of that and helping people with that.
Now from Macomb in high definition. Good Morning Macomb continues.
Welcome back. The annual dance marathon is returning, and students across WIU have raised over $270,000 in the 5 years the event has been around. Joining me today is Committee President Mackenzie Lyons. Thanks for being here. How you doing?
Hi, thank you for having me.
Fantastic. Get things started. I can imagine there's a lot of effort that went into raising these funds. How much did you actually raise?
Like so far this year?
Yeah.
That I do not know because they took away my access, so I will be surprised at the end. But we are reaching for $150,000.
For the 1 year?
For this year, yes.
Holy cow.
And yeah, it's a big amount and it's a lot, but even if we get there or don't, I know we're making miracles happen for
That's fantastic. You know, I hear every year about they raise the bar every single year. Now, this isn't done alone. Everybody pitches in, and that's why you make miracles happen. Now, what was your personal goal?
$1,000.
$1,000.
Yeah.
Now, did you reach it?
I am currently at like 600 and some, and I know today and tomorrow is going to be a really big day because it's going to be like really easy to push with it being the actual event. And we have like a lot of push events planned throughout the big day tomorrow as well, so I think I will reach it by the end.
You guys have the people can donate to the website, right? They go to the website. Now, do you have family and friends donate? You share it on your Facebook.
Yeah.
Like, do you have any people like surprised, like, oh?
Actually, yeah, like people I don't even know have donated to me, and
That's
like people
awesome.
who I went to middle school with and who were in my kindergarten class, who I'm just friends with on Facebook, have donated. So
you're broadcasting to the world, man. Everyone knows about it. That's fantastic. Now, How much was raised last year? You're going for $150,000 this year. How much was raised?
Their goal was $100,000 last year, and they raised $123,200.04.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
Now, the event website says participants dance for 12 hours. Do you actually dance for 12 hours?
No. So we have a morale committee, and they are the ones who boost the morale for the event. And every hour of the event, they teach a different dance with a different theme. And then at the end of the night, everyone does the 10-minute long dance together. And we have a lot of like free dances and things as well. So no, we do not dance for 12 hours. We have like a Hungry Hungry Hippos blow up, like a money machine, food, snacks, like life-size chess and Jenga. You can like listen to Miracle Family stories, get to meet them and play with the little kids.
It's just a big party.
So it's a big party.
Oh, a big celebration. That's fantastic. Now, what's your favorite dance? Do you have a favorite dance?
Honestly, mine is probably the power hour at the end.
The power hour?
Yeah,
What's that?
we call it Miracle Hour, and it's to where like all the families come up, and at the end everyone dances with the families, and that's probably my favorite part of the night, right before we reveal.
That's so wonderful. Yes. While dancing is fun, raising money can be hard work. I have to ask, why do you participate in Dance Marathon?
So I didn't know what Dance Marathon was until I came here to Western, but I actually got involved with Children's Miracle Network my senior year of high school. We did Principal for a Day at my school, where Miracle kids came in to be the principal of my school. And one of the kids' moms like cried to me saying, "I'm so jealous of your mom, like she gets to watch you graduate." So I actually went to the Board of Education and had this little boy graduate with us and get an honorary diploma. And it like made it big. It was on the Today Show website, like GMA's website, and it was huge. And at last year's Dance Marathon event, they actually surprised me on stage with him. And I was in tears, everyone was in tears. It was like a huge deal because I hadn't seen him for I don't know how many months, and we aren't sure how much longer he'll make it. So he's coming back this year. I can't wait to see him on Saturday.
That's fantastic. No, it's so wonderful to hear that people get involved with this and can have fun with it, but do it for a great cause. That's fantastic. Well, thank you so much for being here. The Dance Marathon begins tomorrow at noon in the University Union Grand Ballroom. Dancers stay on their feet all the way until midnight. Thank you so much for being here again. I have to say that. And good luck in reaching your goal. You'll have it. Coming up after the break, News 3 Molly Naisland will have a look at the weekend forecast. You're watching Good Morning Macomb.
I was born in St. Charles, Missouri, and grew up with my mom and dad and my younger sister. Funniest or most terrifying? I used to get in trouble for laughing on air, and one day we had someone kind of come in and straighten me out a little bit, if that makes sense, and everybody got a pretty good kick out of that one. My favorite thing about News 3 is probably how close we can get in a learning environment to the real world, not only from great things like this studio to the production room and even our writing lab. It's almost like what the professionals use.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be tornado next Thursday.
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Create your success at Western Illinois University. Automatic scholarships and affordable education and more are all yours at Western Illinois University. Apply today at wiu.edu.
Macomb, and welcome back. We're seeing temperatures at 36 degrees right now, and we're seeing some foggy areas right now. Some of the lower lying areas on campus are looking a little foggy. Winds are out of the west at 12 miles per hour. We've got a humidity at about 94%, so there's plenty of moisture in the air, and the dew point is at 35 degrees, so it's just under what our temperature is right now. For our almanac, again, we're right around what our average is for about this time in February. We have had some pretty high and low records for this time of the year. So thankfully, we're sitting around average and not, you know, -8 degrees. It's a little chilly for this time. Taking a look at our surface map, as you can see, this low has actually moved just a little bit. So it's right down here and moving up in and over our area. So keep that in mind because that is actually the line of temperatures, as you can see with this falling away. This is the low pressure system, and southeast of that low is where we're seeing all of those warmer temperatures, and northwest is where we're seeing a lot of those colder temperatures in the blues, light blues, and even with the pinks and the negatives up in the northwest. Temperatures today, again, we're going to be right around average with 41 degrees here in Macomb for a high today, 45 down in Beardstown, and 44 over in Quincy. Tonight, we're going to have 31 degrees for a low, so we're a little bit above average for what our lows are at this point in time in the year. You're going to see 30 degrees over in Burlington and 32 over in Keokuk. Tomorrow, we're going to see a high of 45 degrees here in Macomb, and then 47 in Beardstown and 49 over in Quincy. Tomorrow night, we're going to see 29 degrees for a low, so we're going to get it a little bit chillier tomorrow night, with 31 in Beardstown and 32 in Springfield. Now, tonight, we're going to see a chance for some icy rain. So if you're going to be out on the roads, you want to be very, very careful. We're going to see a low of 31 degrees with north-northeast at 10 miles per hour. And then for tomorrow, we're going to see a high of 45 degrees. Winds are out of the east at 14 miles per hour with, again, a chance for freezing rain. So we're going to keep an eye on that. And then for your 5-day forecast, again, tomorrow we're going to see a high of 45 degrees with that chance for some freezing rain in the forecast, the low of 29. Sunday and Monday, we're going to take a break from the clouds and sun and see 44 and 54 for highs. However, on Sunday, we are going to get below freezing. Then Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to bring the clouds and the rain back with 60 and 59.
Oh, man, you were scaring me with all those 30s and 20 temperatures, and now we got finally 50s and 60s. That's awesome. And with things heating up in the weather, we got events heating up, right?
That's totally right, John. Coming up next, a month of celebration for women all across the United States. How you can get involved on the WIU campus, coming up.
We'd do anything for kids. Yet 1 in 6 children in the U.S. struggle with hunger. Help end childhood hunger near you. Learn how at feedingamerica.org.
I learned broadcasting for 3 years in high school, so towards my senior year, I was pretty much invested in wanting to pursue a career. And I do enjoy it now, but I'm searching for a way to make sure that it's something that I want to pursue after college. That way, I'll be able to wake up every day and say, this is something I want to do, this is something that I love, this is something that I can teach, I can spread, I can affect people with.
A WIU organization is planning a month full of events in celebration of women throughout history. Those events all taking place during the month of March. Joining me is Stephanie Hovsepian. She's the director of the WIU Women's Center on campus. Stephanie, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
So first off, many events are coming up starting in just 1 week. What do we have to look forward to?
So I think that we have a great lineup of programs for Women's History Month this March. We're starting off with Nikki Giovanni, who's kind of going to be wrapping up the Black History Month celebration that's going on now in February. And we have a number of different films that we're showing, panelists that are going to be their presenters, some spoken word artists. It's just a really great month of events.
So how are your team preparing for this whole month of events? Do you have a committee going that's sort of putting all of this on?
So actually it's my staff that is really working on this and working with various campus and community partners to put this on. So we're working with the Feminist Action Alliance, which is a student organization on campus. They're bringing our big kickoff event, Denise Froman, who's a spoken word artist. We have a couple of other student organizations that we're working with to provide different programs and pieces to our month and our celebration, working with the Center for International Studies in Casa Latina Cultural Center, Gwendolyn Brooks Cultural Center, the Peace Corps Preps program, so a number of different partners. And so right now at this point, it's just a matter of getting really psyched and finishing any last minute preparation.
Of course. Can you talk about, again, those other groups being involved with you and just how important it is for your outreach?
Absolutely. I think, women are everywhere on campus, right, and in the community and the world. And so we need really the kind of assistance of everyone to be involved. I think sometimes too, just speaking in general about the Women's Center, oftentimes people think that you have to identify as a woman in order to be involved in the Women's Center, and that's not the case at all. And so we want to make sure too that we're also highlighting the fact that we aren't just one identity, right? We are made up of multiple different identities, and so we need to be able to talk about how our various identities intersect. And so it's so important then for us to make sure that we are collaborating with Casa Latina, collaborating with the Gwendolyn Brooks Cultural Center, with the Center for International Studies, and really getting everyone involved in our initiatives and working together.
That's awesome. The theme for this year's Women in History Month is Women Undefined.
Yes.
Can you give some insight as to what that means in your opinion?
Sure. I think, when my staff and I were kind of really talking about what do we want the theme to be for this month, we brainstormed a lot of different ideas and started looking at some of the programs that we had already planned and looking at the really wide array and diversity of the women that we were highlighting in our programs, and kind of started to ask the question, what defines a woman? And we don't think that there is one definition to define a woman. And so even looking at some of our events, we're showing a documentary about Miss Major Griffin Gracie, right? And she's a trans activist, and so she's a woman, just like I'm a woman. And so, highlighting all different kinds of women. So there's no definition, so women undefined.
So you've talked about that movie. Can you give us a quip on some of the other movies that you plan on showing? I know there's 3 film selections, I believe, throughout the month.
Yes, so the first one that we have is on March 8th. We're showing Hidden Figures. That's in collaboration with the Center for International Studies, because March 8th is International Women's Day. And so Hidden Figures highlights 3 women in this particular film who were heavily involved in NASA in the 60s, who kind of, their stories weren't told until recently. And then towards the end of the month, we're working in collaboration with Casa Latina. They're sponsoring a documentary about Dolores Huerta, and she is an activist for the farming community, actually somebody who works at the same kind of level as Cesar Chavez, and just hasn't really been recognized for that. And so those are the 3 films that we're showing.
I wish I had more time for questions, but they're trying to wrap me up. So
right.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
Again, you need to look up those things online, look up the WIU Women's Center. And if you're usually looking forward to celebrating holidays throughout the year, we have some interesting news for you coming up next. Find out what holidays you might be missing next.
I understand. I know it's not your typical resume.
Okay, well.
But candidate. But I've been working double shifts just to pay for books. I've been raising my 2 little brothers. I'm determined, driven, motivated. Isn't that what you're looking for?
Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent at gradsoflife.org.
Marie, you have prediabetes.
Prediabetes? I don't have time to eat right or exercise. I'm a busy mom.
Oh, you're a busy mom.
Yeah.
This is great news. Busy moms never get prediabetes.
Wait, what?
Let me just... Yeah, this is all the people at risk for prediabetes, and way over here, busy moms. No?
I started to think about doing broadcasting my freshman year. I started calling some football games for the freshman football team. My high school didn't really have a broadcasting program like some do, and so a lot of my stuff was just PA for different sports, for basketball, for volleyball. And my mom signed me up for a visit to come to Western on a Discover Western Day. And I walked through the doors of the rec center, and Buzz Hoon shook my hand and said, "Zach Stone, I've seen all your footage, I know who you are, and you belong here." And that's what really makes WIU feel like home.
Hey,
Look at all those crazy days we have to celebrate for your Friday morning. Some interesting ones: National Skip the Straw Day, National Dog Biscuit Day. John?
National Banana Bread Day. I wanted to celebrate that one every day, for sure. Thanks for joining us this morning. We'll see you on Tuesday for Live at 4.
Until then, follow us on Facebook or find us on Twitter. Just search News 3 WIU.
From all of us at News 3, have a good morning, Macomb.